Welcome to Awkward Channeling, where spiritual insight meets real life awkwardness. If you're here for truth, growth, and a little chaos, you are in the right place. Hello, and welcome to our channel of Father Time. Now, I'm doing this a little differently than we had anticipated originally, and I am pre recording this because I will not have Joelle present. I think it will be clearer and easier if I take the week and we talk to him a few times and we get all the information in. Now, there is a ton of questions, and we will, I'm hoping that we will, in general, just answer those, but we will go back and visit each one with him as well. And I believe he wants to start with kind of the concept of how we understand time and um, what he can try to explain to us. He tells me it is quite difficult to explain to us. It is hard for us to understand it because we are living a linear time. To us, everything is happening in order, when in all reality, that is not the case. But for our lives here, that concept has to be intact, right? So he is asking for us and has given me several messages to loosen up our beliefs around time, to understand that it is more fluid than it's ever been, that it has always been fluid, but in this time we have more access to the fluidity, to choosing how we want it to play out for us. And one of the first steps is to release the beliefs around it, and that time is just what it is, and we don't have any power over it or with it or through it. And if we can release that, then at any point that we need help with time, we can most likely get it, unless it is just not meant to be different, right? So there's always the free will, there's always the path, there's many, many factors I think that come into our lives on so many levels, that's why this is not just a simple thing, because there are so many different scenarios and different layers to how our lives are laid out. So let's see what we can get from him. I'm going to just put me down here in a corner, and let's just pull him in for his initial channel of what he wants to tell us. Bear with me. Yes, hello. I am here. I'm present as I have been. We are very excited. There is much anticipation for this particular channel. And we are going to ask to raise the vibration a little bit more here so that this one will have an easier time moving out of the way. Bear with us a moment. We wish for her to settle in and just allow. So, what I wish for you all to understand is that the concept of time that you contain, the concept of time that you live by here on earth, is not accurate of time overall. There is time here on earth and there is time elsewhere, but nothing is the same as it is on earth. On earth, you live a linear life. You are unaware of the changes and the times that you're jumping timelines and things are different. It's been like this forever. Another piece you are unaware of is that you actually have rights where time is concerned, and you can ask for assistance. You can use the fluidity of time to shift things, to assist yourself there on earth. Now, you can't make massive jumps because that would not be something your body, your mind, your life would tolerate at this time. But you can ask for a shifting of time. You can ask for a shortening or a lengthening. You can ask for it to speed up or slow down. You can alter it momentarily to avoid let's say an accident or a misstep of some form, you can actually alter it just a little, just enough. These things can happen. And we ask you at this time to begin to, in a sense, play with time a little bit, to look at the beliefs that you have around time and to understand that those are convenient for your earthly living, but they are not actually the truth of time and how it works. We wish for you all to gain a deeper understanding of your power within time. I'm going to offer a bit of healing for this to begin to open the concept of time and a gentle assistance in releasing the fixed belief or beliefs that you have around it at this time. Wakatatosoehia naikia sushakia saola, yanieskia tataso, yanasko ayatatashko, yanayasiro, kayata, hushianakatatasoya kianayahu. We just ask for you to open to that and this idea that things are different than you may have originally thought. Okay, it's Shauna. Again, I need to drink some water. Beginning to kind of feel the energy drying me out, which happens. So again, this is what he's been telling me is this is a very fluid time and that we have powers with time that we are 100% unaware of, most of us. All right. Let's see. Yes, you do. You have many powers. Some are more gifted in this realm. Some are more time workers. This one is a time worker, but she does not understand that yet. This is something that has been presented to her in the past, but she was fearful at the time, understandably, what that meant. This person used a word that was not something she was at all familiar with at the time, which is Time Lord, that her family has some Time Lord in their family. And this was quite confusing for her, but that's okay. The idea was presented when it needed to be, and it will be coming into fruition here in the near future for her. And as it is for you. Now, like I said, some have a little more ability, but you all have ability to work with time. And we invite you to do so. The idea that you can stretch it, you can shorten it, you can speed it up, slow it down, however you wish to look at it. These concepts are newer for most of you, but at the same time, they feel so familiar to you because you understand that there is so much more than what you know now. Okay, so now we are going to see if we can answer the first question. And, we have some doozies. These are not easy questions. And I honestly am not sure exactly how much he's going to be able or willing to talk about these concepts, but we're going to get what we can get. And our first question is, can you describe the how of time all being at the same time, but also parallels of past, present, and future? He's I heard a bit of a chuckle, and I really think that these are concepts that are very difficult for us. And let's just see what he has to say. Yes, these are not easy questions for us to explain. There are concepts that you're not likely to fully understand. They are not easily explained because there are many layers to your reality. But yes, everything is now. There is no past, present, and future. It is all happening all at the same moment. But for you to navigate it, it is set up in a linear view. The past, present, and future do not happen and end, they continue to go on. You will also have many different timelines that your soul is working out different aspects. Mm. So in your current your current reality, you are working on certain things, but in the past, what you feel is the past, you have been working on other things. And truthfully, it is all one in every aspect. Yes, there are times that there are parallels that you could shift to another reality to continue on in a different form, which is kind of where you get into your timelines, where you have similar lives running that you could step into a different one that might be a little different. It might be better, it might be worse, depending on how you see it. But if you are in need of working through something that you've worked on much in the past, you may temporarily dip into another timeline where that particular issue is more present. So you feel like all of a sudden you have these energies coming at you again about an old topic. And truthfully, what you've done is you've moved into a timeline to be able to assist you in working on that. A timeline where you are still working that out, where that is still running. That is also something that happens. You can see that there are so many layers, it's very difficult for us to, give you words that would make sense for you in this. But the truth is, this question is accurate in the sense that everything is now. There really is no past, present, and future, but there's also many, many, many parallels. So in every aspect of your time, there are also many yous that are working through many different aspects of life as a human. Okay. I'm not sure how well that really described, but I feel him really struggling with words. And some of that is, they have to use the words that I use. Like they have to use, my vocabulary because they're coming through me. So bringing in concepts, I may not have the words, and I feel like he's struggling a little bit with that. Um, so okay, he's telling me that there are questions we're asking that are a little over the top for him at this time and are complicated for them to answer. So we're going to drop back a little and let's just talk about time in itself and answer those questions instead of looking for who is overseeing and some of those deeper questions. So the question we're going to move on to now is, does time exist? And if so, in what way? And if time is a spiral, why do we see it linear? Is it bendable? So let's see what he says. Yes, thank you. This is a question that is answerable for me. Does time even exist? Well, it exists for you in your realm. It exists in your 3D realm. It does exist in other areas, but not the way that it exists here on Earth. Your time is very special in a sense. It is important for you to be able to live this linear life, um, because that is what you're there for. And it is a way for you to learn. It's a way for you to have many, many, many experiences in the lifetime that you are there. And that is how it is designed. That is why it is there. So a lot of people see time as a spiral, and that is true. And your these are very difficult to explain, but you do have a spiral of time, but you also have little balls of time. You have timelines that kind of come in there, which I showed this one the other day, which she described as kind of an energetic ball of yarn. That is where this comes in. You do have in a sense, a spiral of time. You could see it that way. You also have a jumble of timelines, many, 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 many timelines, many, many, many different directions to go. And what happens is y- each you, as you move through an issue, you then move to a new timeline where you've already been working different issues. And so you move to a timeline that is more appropriate for you at the time. So you fluctuate and you move back and forth between these timelines. Often, this happens quite often. You could have an experience that triggers something very old, and you're going to drop to a timeline where that is more pertinent, where that is happening more. And all of a sudden, you'll feel like, gosh, why am I back in this theme? Why is this coming up again? Well, it's coming up again because you've come to a point where you can work it more. And it is a goal in your life plan. So you have so many factors, but where time is concerned, you are moving through the spiral and bouncing back and forth, believe it or not. But if you as a human had to try to understand and have conscious knowledge of that at the time, it would cause much dismay, and it would cause confusion, and your mind would not do well with that. So these things are happening subconsciously. These things are just happening. You're not aware because you're not moving from one space to another. It's more like it's but see, for you, you need to see it that way. You are very physical. So what we are trying to explain is not a physical thing. This is a energetic concept. So this is very difficult to explain. Okay. I'm not sure how well that went. I'll have to watch this back and see. Um, does time exist? Yes, but really mostly only here. And our time here is very unique. Even though there are other planets and other places where there's time, it is not as it is here. I do want to get to what's happening with time this year. Like, why does everything seem to be so different? And like things are speeding up and slowing down so much more often for us. And I also see that it's a bit unique. I will ask someone else, did it seem like a fast day to you? Did it seem like a slow day to you? And sometimes they're opposite of how it really felt for me. Some days you feel like you get so much done and time just whipped by, and then other times it feels like it's never ending. It's just going to keep going. So let's ask him about this. Why is time going so fast this year? Why does this seem to speed up during certain events in life? Oh, this is another layered question. I will tell you that as your planet moves through ascension and as you move to more of a 5D life, as you all talk about it, as you are moving into a more energetic time and energetic realm, your your time is just becoming more obviously fluid. It has always been fluid, but most have been unaware. So what's happening is the awareness is coming through for more and more and more humans. And as this happens, and as we mentioned before, you become more aware and more able to manipulate time, more able to set up your day and your life and your moments in the way that you wish them to be. And that is just the time you're moving into. The veil is thinning, as they say. That is true. Your awareness is lifting the heaviness. Your belief system shifting is allowing you to see things different. The truth of a human being is that they are creator beings and they don't know it, but you are becoming aware of that. So now you could consciously create. You could consciously create anything at this point in time if you believed it. So this is why I came through recently with the message, like the pre-live message, as she titled it, that it is time to look at your beliefs. It is time to loosen them up. It is time to release beliefs around time and redefine it for yourself, to allow the fluidity, to know that you can and you will move through time in a different way if you choose. You don't have to be limited in the way that you have limited yourself, but that is also very true about all aspects of your life. So it isn't just time. But now, this year, we have reached a level of awakening on the planet that more and more are aware. And the more that energy lifts, the more people are open to these shifts, the more you're going to have access to what you've always had access to, and that is shifting time and changing time. You're all practicing jumping timelines and doing different things. And although that is not really 100% necessary practice, if you just decide where you're going and what you want, and you take whatever steps you know to take towards it, and you follow your guidance, you're going to naturally move timelines and naturally shift in that way. But it's okay for you to choose whatever way you wish to do it. You can make small leaps, yes. You cannot make as big a leap as you think, um, without there being some repercussions with the mind. The mind. So, what we're trying to do at this time is bring in these understandings and these beliefs about the fluidity of time. We wish for you to understand that it is not what you have been living and is not as you have thought of it. But at the same time, we aren't prepared to bring you an understanding of exactly how it works. What we want you to understand is that you have power with it. This is your time. You are a creator being. That is important to understand. Your thoughts about time, your thoughts about yourself, your thoughts about what you want, your thoughts about what you already have. Those are all important things that are at work at all times, um, while you are living this life. Okay, sorry, I'm back. It's really interesting. I feel like there is a lot of, we don't really want to even attempt to explain to you the deeper concepts. What we really want is for you to focus on your understandings of time and not necessarily who's managing it, or, what's happening deeper. And I have a feeling he's going to just kind of force us to stay in the basics of this right now. Let's look at these other questions that we have. If everything exists in the now, does that mean our past lives and future lives are also happening? Yes, yes. And I think we've already talked about that a little bit. As he said already, everything is existing in the now. Everything is running now. And let's see if he has anything to add to this at all. If everything is just in the now, does that mean our past lives and future lives are also happening? Yes, yes, it does. It does. And this is, again, a very difficult concept to get through. There is an kind of an understanding about this that you can reach, but your mind will kind of short circuit. That's what's happening for this one as she tries to understand it with her mind. We ask for you to drop into your heart at this time and understand that everything is happening at once. Your past lives, yes. Your alternate lives, yes. There are so many levels that are going on all at the same time. So one of the things that people find is that you bring through pieces from past lives, and you have certain practitioners there that can go through and release that from you by healing it in that timeline. That's really what's happening. When somebody is clearing a timeline, or a past life, excuse me. If somebody is clearing a past life or and a timeline, they can go through you to that piece and heal the aspect from that life. They can clear certain things at certain times to help release that piece that is still tugging on you from that life. I mean, you can imagine that you have connections to that in many ways. Your soul is not just operating you in this time. It's operating many yous, it's operating all the yous, and it's all happening at the same, to you a moment. It is not easy to understand because time is just about you living this particular existence here on earth. So I don't know. Does that answer that question? Okay, let's see. I don't know. Hopefully that's some clarification. It's very interesting. This is so much harder than I thought it was going to be. I also think we're going to do a second uh, follow up for this. I want to ask him a little bit about this question. I've always wished life came with a one time rewind button where we could have a do over, per se, and go back to an earlier time and start over from there. Is there anything like this running now? Let's see what he says. I have this feeling that he has a funny answer for this. Well, let's tell you, if everything is running at the same time, then you do have a do over button because you are still operating that experience at this moment. So, a lot of the time, you will find people, practitioners, explain to you that you can go back and rewrite that story within you. You actually can sit in meditation and go back to that time and rewrite the story. Watch it, see it differently. You are a creator being. You can shift that energy. You can heal that aspect by doing that. Now, you have to believe you can do it. You have to be open to this concept. But yes, that is your rewind button. Now, does that mean that you forget that this happened? No, absolutely not. But what will happen is the energy of it that is holding you back or affecting you will dissipate. And you may have to do this more than once, but yes, that's your rewind button. You use your imagination, which is your connection to your past lives and to your other timelines, and you rewrite that with your imagination. And you may do it as many times as you need in order to release the intensity of the feelings or emotions or thoughts or shame. Shame is a big one. That is actually how you do a rewind and a redo. Okay. Okay, that makes sense to me. I have actually done that, and I've done it with people. Like, sometimes it'll just come through that, "Oh, we should probably look at that timeline. Let's go back in." There's been times I've been able to see into somebody else's past life and to see what was happening And a lot of that depends on how open you are to the fact that all of this is happening at one time and we can alter it. So, this is why he's saying, look at your beliefs around all of these things. Start opening your belief systems up. Open it up. It's not what we think it is. So, that's really interesting. So, I can see that I'm kind of to the point where I think this is what we're going to do for today. And I hope that this is helpful to you. Um, and we will be doing a follow up once Joelle is back. We will do a follow up, and it may be another live where we channel a little more. We ask some questions, maybe in a little different way, so where we can get some understandings. But he did say some of these questions that we have are kind of over the top, so I might look at breaking those down a little bit and seeing what we can get once Joelle's back and we do a live. So let's bring me back in here. So we appreciate your patience with all of this, and we will see you again about this topic. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you more than you have any idea. And we also would like to invite you over to the Patreon, where we are spending more time and doing some additional lives. So we will be once Joel's back. So thank you so much and have a great day. Thanks for joining us today. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And you could join us on Patreon for exclusive content and deeper behind the scenes magic. We will see you next time.